the sound that stopped. At first, the downstairs neighbor thought it was furniture being dragged. It was just after 9:40 p.m., the kind of hour when most apartment buildings settle into a quiet rhythm. TVs humming, showers running, phones scrolling in the dark. But then the sound came again. Not sliding this time. It was heavy, controlled, rhythmic. Thud, pause, thud, pause. Each impact vibrated through the ceiling, rattling a framed photo on the wall. The neighbor froze, listening. Then came the sound that changed everything. A scream, not loud at first, muffled, as if someone was trying not to be heard. Then it grew sharper, desperate, rising in pitch until it suddenly cut off. Silence. No footsteps, no shouting, just an abrupt, unnatural quiet. Something about it didn't feel like an argument. It felt final. The next morning, a quiet street in Cedar Grove, Ohio, looked exactly the same as it always did. Trash cans lined the curb. Cars sat untouched in their parking spaces. Nothing appeared out of place. But just after midnight, a security camera across the street had recorded something unusual. A man stepped out of an apartment building carrying a large plastic storage tote, dark-colored, the kind you buy at a hardware store. He paused near a parked car, as if checking something, then adjusted his grip and walked toward the far end of the lot, where a shared dumpster sat beneath a flickering light. The camera caught him lifting the lid. Then the tote disappeared from view. At the time, no one watching that footage knew what had just been thrown away. They wouldn't find out until later that afternoon. At 1:17 p.m., maintenance worker Carlos Mendez was doing his usual rounds. He noticed the dumpster lid hadn't closed properly. When he lifted it, the smell hit him first. Sharp, metallic, wrong. Inside, beneath broken boxes and trash bags, sat the dark plastic tote. The lid wasn't sealed. Carlos opened it. He slammed the lid shut immediately and stumbled backward, his heart racing. Within minutes, he was on the phone with his supervisor, who called 911. Police arrived to find Carlos sitting on the curb, pale and shaking. Inside the tote was what remained of a young woman. At 1:29 p.m., another call came in. This one was from a woman named Emily Whitfield. She hadn't heard from her daughter since the night before. That wasn't unusual on its own, but her daughter, Emily Whitfield, always texted back. Always. Karen had driven to Emily's apartment to check on her. The door was unlocked. 2 minutes later, Karen was outside, screaming. On the recording, her voice breaks as she tries to explain. "My daughter, she's on the bed. She's not moving. Please, I think she's dead." Officers arrived within minutes. They found Emily's apartment eerily neat. No signs of forced entry. No struggle in the living room. But in the bedroom, they found Emily's body. And something was missing. In this video, we're going to walk you through exactly what happened to 26-year-old Emily Whitfield. From the final hours of her life, to the sounds her neighbors heard through the walls, to the quiet actions that revealed a crime too disturbing to ignore. Viewer discretion is advised. 24 hours earlier, Emily Whitfield was alive and planning her week. Emily grew up in Cedar Grove, a small town where everyone knew her name. She was the kind of person who remembered birthdays, brought extra snacks, and apologized even when something wasn't her fault. After graduating college with a degree in early childhood education, she landed her first full-time job at a local daycare. It wasn't glamorous, but she loved it. Emily wanted stability, a home, a family, and she thought she was building that with her boyfriend, Marcus Reed. Emily and Marcus had been together for almost 3 years. To outsiders, they seemed normal, quiet, private. But those close to Emily noticed changes. She canceled plans, showed up late to work, flinched when her phone buzzed. Her coworker later told police, "She used to laugh all the time, then she just stopped." Marcus struggled with anger. He jumped between jobs. Friends described him as intense. Emily once told her mother, "He's not bad, he just gets overwhelmed." It was the kind of excuse abuse victims often make. Police records showed 2 prior domestic disturbance calls to the apartment. No arrests, no charges. Emily declined to press charges both times. Text messages recovered from her phone painted a clearer picture. "I don't know how to leave without making it worse. He says if I go, everything falls apart." On the night of June 14th, Emily texted her friend at 8:52 p.m. "Things are tense. I'll call you tomorrow." She never did. Security footage showed Emily and Marcus arriving home at 9:11 p.m. Lights turned on in the apartment. No one left again until Marcus exited alone just before midnight. Downstairs, the neighbor remembered the timeline clearly. The muffled yelling started around 9:30, the screaming around 9:45. The rhythmic thuds followed soon after. Then nothing. Investigators believe Emily was killed during that window. They believe the sounds weren't furniture, they were blows. After leaving the apartment, Marcus was seen returning briefly, then leaving again with the storage tote. 2 hours later, Emily's car was gone. Marcus showed up at his cousin's house around 2:40 a.m., acting nervous. He asked for new clothes, took a shower. He cut his hair in the bathroom sink. When asked why, he said, "Fresh start." Marcus left behind too much: Emily's purse, her phone, her keys. He abandoned her car 2 streets away with a handwritten "For sale" sign taped inside the window. Police issued a bolo by the next morning. At 6:18 p.m., Marcus Reed was stopped in a neighboring county for a broken taillight. He had scratches on his arms. He couldn't explain them. In the interview room, Marcus refused to sit still. He paced, laughed at inappropriate moments, asked when he could leave. When detectives mentioned Emily's name, he stared at the floor. After 2 hours, he asked for a lawyer. The interview ended, but the evidence didn't. Marcus Reed was charged with first-degree murder and abuse of a corpse. Prosecutors laid out the timeline, the sounds, the footage, the tote, the dumpster. A jury took less than 4 hours to convict. Marcus was sentenced to 55 years in prison. Emily's mother spoke at sentencing. "My daughter was not weak," she said. "She was trapped." The apartment building replaced the carpet in the upstairs unit. Life on the street returned to normal. But the neighbors say they still hear it sometimes. The sound, the pause, the silence. If you are in a relationship where fear outweighs peace, where excuses replace safety, where leaving feels more dangerous than staying, please know this: love does not sound like screaming through walls, and silence is not always peace. Sometimes it's the end.